Funny how time flies by so slowly when you're watching it. Okay, we are ready. Let me get to my script. Uh, it was just on the screen. Okay. I would like to call the meeting of the St. Louis County Board of Zoning Adjustment to order. The board members present today are Angelia Bills, Chair, Justin Randall, Vice Chair, and Vincent Nutt, Member. The Department of Planning staff members are Debbie Nesbitt, Abby Freudel, and Gretchen Arnold. Also on the call today is Bob Grant from the County Counselor's Office. First, I'd like to offer into the record the affidavit of publication pertaining to today's meeting, April 3rd, 2024. The board hereby takes official notice of and admits into evidence on the record the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance, Chapter 1003, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended, and Chapter 1004, St. Louis County Revised Ordinance 1974 as amended. Next, I would like to call for a motion to approve the minutes of the previous BZA meeting of March the 20th, 2024.
Second.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to motion?
No, I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
This meeting is conducted as a teleconference and is recorded. The planning staff will read each request into the record and present technical advice to the board if needed. The petitioner will be unmuted, state their name, and make a brief presentation to the board explaining the reason and hardship for the requested variance. The board will not consider financial hardships. Board members may ask questions to clarify the facts. When the board is satisfied with the material presented, the chairperson will then ask if there is anyone in favor or opposition to the request. To do so, click the hand next to your name. If any comments were submitted, staff will read them into the record. Before a call for the vote, the petitioner may request a continuance in order to bring in additional documentation. The board may also request a continuance to gather additional information or for a visit to the site. Once comments have been heard, the chairperson will call for a vote. At that time, the discussion is ended. No further discussion is permitted. The board will generally make a decision today. If a variance is approved, the petitioner has 6 months to obtain the necessary permits or establish the use requested, or the variance will expire. The petitioner or any interested party has the right of appeal to the St. Louis County Circuit Court. Paperwork indicating the board's decision will be mailed today to the petitioners.
All right, first up is 29-24. Gary and Deborah Hugie is a request for an exception to allow the construction of a 20-foot by 30-foot detached garage and to maintain the existing buildings with an overall 4,090 square feet of aggregate detached structures at 11744 Hogmuller Avenue as required by Section 4 of the R3 Residence District Regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Gary, I'm going to request for you to unmute. Please just state your name for the board, and then you can immediately start on your case. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Gary Huey. I have petitioned the board to erect this 20 by 30 structure. I have 5 classic cars, machine tools, lawn equipment, classic car parts that for these classic cars, which I have 5, and the weather is destroying everything. I got trapped into purchasing this building because St. Louis County wanted mechanical drawings in order to submit these plans. Now I had to buy this building, which was $11,000. So they would send me the mechanical drawings to apply for this permit. So I'm kind of stuck here, and I kind of really need the storage space. That's where I wouldn't spend this kind of money. I said I was unprepared to make this statement If I left anything out, please ask questions.
Okay. And how is he for lot coverage?
The lot coverage is fine. It's just the square footage of all of the buildings on the property.
Okay, so how many buildings are there on the property total?
I believe there will be 5 with this new one.
Okay. Sir, do you plan to tear down any of the other structures once you have the other building in place?
The barn, the wooden barn, as you'd see in the photos, is in very bad condition. It emptied and rehabbed or replaced, but right now I can't afford to do that with all the equipment I got. The weather's destroying everything.
Okay, so you plan to you plan to replace the barn with this new structure?
No, I actually need the space for the additional equipment I have. I have a complete machine shop. I have a restoration shop for the classic cars and the classic motorcycles that I have. I do need the space to operate. And like I say, the weather's destroying everything.
Mhm. Is this a commercial business on your property?
No, ma'am. This is strictly personal. I was an auto mechanic for 30 years, aircraft mechanic for 10. All this equipment that I've been doing this for my own personal use for years upon years. And I got to go out there about once a week to scrape the rust off the stuff and oil it because all the moisture and all the damages stuff is taken. Not to mention the sun on the classic cars is very destructive.
Can we go back? I'm still confused of where the location is proposed. Okay, yeah. So you said the barn structure is staying, but the new garage is going somewhere else, and it's not where
Right.
that it's. I'm a little confused. If you could clarify that for me.
Okay, you got the site plan up in front of you?
Yeah, I see the red.
Okay. Okay, there's a red square. There's an existing 20 by 26 building right there at the easement line. And then there's, yeah, right there. And then next to it is a 2-car carport. I'm proposing to put the building on between the driveway from the street and the carport, put it between there. The barn is on the other side of the driveway next to the house.
So, Gretchen, go back to one of those pictures, please. So that's the barn that across from where the location that he wants to put the new building, that little, it looks like a little driveway area there. That must be the carports. And
Right.
then this open area will, yeah, so the new building would go right here next to this carport.
Correct.
And it's going to be like that hut, right? This.
Yes. The only difference is that hut is 6 feet taller and 4 feet shorter. But it's the same building other than that. And it's going to be on ground level instead of on the wall.
Approximately how many structures are on this property?
I
It
don't,
looks from the site plan, it looks like as it exists right now, per this site plan, you have the residential home, you have the barn, the carport, and then the structure next to it. So you have right now a total of 4 per the site plan that they're showing.
Okay, and sir, you're proposing a 5th structure?
yes, ma'am, I need the storage.
Are there any other questions?
let me explain one thing. The
Sure.
Public Works counts a carport as a structure. And so even though it's only a roof and poles, they count it as if it's an enclosed structure. So that does make the square footage go up also, where it's not totally enclosed. It's, but it does count as full, not covered, it's full square footage.
Well, if a push comes to shove situation, I can take down the carport or that carport. Like I say, I prefer to keep it, keeps the hail, the rain, the sun off of some of my classic cars, which is, I don't know if the picture shows, there's a 98 Jeep Cherokee sitting in there, which is a classic car by itself. We have been restoring. So like I say, I would like to keep it.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
I haven't.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I do know that a neighbor is on the call, so what I'm going to do is, because they are a call-in user, they cannot raise their hand like a normal user. I'm going to put the petitioner on mute. Gary, if the board is satisfied after, or if there isn't a need for a rebuttal, we'll keep you on mute, but I'm going to do that for right now so we can hear possibly if the neighbor has any comments. Ronald, I'm going to request for you to unmute again on your phone. That's probably like *8 or *6.
Okay, I should be unmuted.
Yep, you're good. I can hear you. Was there anything you would like to add or speak to the board about in regards to this petition?
My name is Ronald Cotton, and I'm the owner of the property across the streets from this particular person here. And my only concern is it's a residential area, and how close to the main street, you know, when we look out our windows, how this will affect us. You know, is it becoming commercial? You know, if you change the zone, will that change my taxes? Or will the zoning in the area stay the same and he's just getting a permit to build a building?
So I can quickly answer that for the board. So this is simply just a request for a variance to allow an additional structure on the site. So it would not change the zoning of his property at all. In order to change any zoning, they'd have to go to the planning commission in order to do that. So it should not affect you in that way.
Okay. Now, how far from the street itself would his structure be? That's another question that I have.
Let me see here. They have to, so no structure can go within a 25-foot building line. It looks like it is closer per the site plan. I would have to get an actual measurement out to see. It looks like it's closer to the house. There's a good, I mean, it's not right up along the road.
Okay. Other than that, I don't have any objection to it.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. I don't see any other hands since the questions were more for staff, unless the board would like to hear anything further from the petitioner.
No, I think we're ready to vote.
All right. This is 29-24.
Okay. 29-24, I vote to deny the variance. As advertised, I believe that 5 structures on the property is too many structures.
Would second.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, passes. Thank you.
All right, moving on to 30-24, Jasminka Samovic is a request for an exception to the front yard regulations for the purpose of constructing an in-ground swimming pool at 4108 Park Hill Court, maintaining a front yard of 4 feet in lieu of 20 feet along Park Hill Circle as required by the R4 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County Zoning Ordinance. Jasminka, I'm going to request for you to unmute. Again, just state your name for the board, and then you'll be able to present.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, hi, I'm Yasmin Kosmagic. So there's actually correction. We are proposing to build the above ground and not in-ground pool, which would be like, let's say, like a temporary construction. And the reason why we wanted like to put on that space, because the previous owner of the house, they had a pool, above ground pool at the exact same spot. So the electric is already there and the water. And if we want to meet like South County regulations, like that would be the only spot that we can put above ground pool.
Jasminka, you're gonna put the pool near that gazebo that you have?
And no, it's gonna be a little bit like a down further, closer to that black fence.
Oh, okay.
You mentioned there's electric and water in the location from where the pool was before. Is there any other deterrent for not moving I'm just trying to understand why we wouldn't move the pool towards the setback if it's an above ground pool. And
Because the backyard, it's not completely flat. So kind of like when the gazebo ending, we have a concrete patio and there's a retaining wall that we had to put. Because they had like a above ground pool that is like a circle shape. So when they removed that, it was just like a ground left. So we had to put retaining wall there. If we go like further, like kind of like under the house, then there's electric and wires that we cannot go under that.
and then the second question I had is the pool equipment, the pump.
Yeah.
What side of the pool do you plan to put that on?
What side?
Yeah, will it be within the setback or will it be in the yard side?
It's a yard side, I believe.
Okay.
The property does back up to an apartment complex, which is the green area you see. That's part of their, I guess, common ground area. So it's a pretty large complex that's back there.
Yeah, but we do have like a 6 feet privacy fence.
Do you have any, or maybe I missed it, is there any specification on the size of the pool?
Yes, it's 12 by 24.
12 by 24.
Can you go back to the site plan, staff? Do you know what the side, is it 6 feet if this wasn't a corner lot?
The side yard would be 6 feet.
6 feet.
Are there any other questions?
No other questions.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Is there anyone here in favor or opposition?
I don't see anybody raising their hand, so at this time I'm going to mute the petitioner so the board can take a vote. This is 30-24.
In the case of 30-24, I make a motion to approve the variance citing the hardship as an existing condition, and then the topography and adjacency to a common area.
I second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. The motion passes.
All right. For purposes of just how we have to do this, I am going to read the next one into the record. However, the petitioner has requested to continue this petition just because of some scheduling conflicts, I believe. So 31-24, Michael and Diane Holt request an exception to the rear yard regulations for the purpose of constructing a deck and stairs at 4916 Carrington Place Court, maintaining a rear yard of 10 feet or 15 feet as required by the R4 Residence District regulations of the St. Louis County zoning ordinance. And at this time, I would ask for a motion.
Move to continue the, 31-24 to the next available meeting.
Seconded.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. It passes.
All right, that is all we had for you guys today. So we will just need a motion of adjournment whenever you're ready.
I move to adjourn the Board of Zoning Adjustment.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Passes. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. See you next time.